Hello everyone, very good evening to all of you. Welcome to the platform of Unacademy, India's largest learning platform. Yes, boys and girls, am I audible, visible to all of you? Yes, good evening everyone. Am I audible, visible to all of you? Yes. There are many students who ask me why we have to join Unacademy. Unacademy provides you daily live classes, live tests, quiz, structure courses, and unlimited access with one subscription. Along with that, I hope all of you downloaded the app. If you haven't, please download because special classes and plus classes available only on app and it is the best learning experience for you. Yes, those who are new here, let me introduce myself. My name is Harshvardhan Singh and on this platform we are going to discuss the subjects like history, economy and international relation. Currently my lecture series on modern India and Indian economy is going on. Along with that, I already completed the lecture series of world history and international relation. If you haven't watched it, if you missed it, then it is available on Unacademy's YouTube channel UPSC CSE English as well as it is available on app. Those who want to contact with me, you can contact with me through Unacademy app and the address is @Harshvardhan Singh for you. Along with that, if you want to contact with me, if you want to know the lecture timing, then you can connect with me through Telegram channel. Please follow me on that so that you will get the updates of lecture @Unacademy_Harshvi10. I'm having 9-year experience in the field of civil services as an educator at Delhi, Pune and Nagpur. Earlier I was selected as an intelligence bureau officer. Yes everyone, these are our top secrets. Please do watch the videos. It will really helpful for you in your preparation. I hope all of you subscribe to Unacademy because we are going to provide you more than 15,000 courses for UPSC CSE Prelims. If you haven't taken subscription, I insist you please have a subscription of Unacademy because your subscription is important for us. Without your subscription, it is not possible for us to present video lectures. So, if you want to take the plus subscription for GS, it will cost around 44,550. But I insist you, please go for iconic subscription because here we are going to provide you all aspects of guidance including personal feedback and study planner and daily question and answer writing for mains. It will cost around 67,050 only after using my code Harshvi10. If you use the code, you will get the 10% discount and you have to pay just 67,050. Yes everyone, a quick recap of last lecture. What we have discussed? We have discussed the 5-year plans. Yes, and in that we mentioned about the decentralized plan approach of planning commission. In that first we have mentioned in the first 5-year plan one attempt was made, but as it was just on paper because lack of infrastructure and all. Second 5-year plan we have mentioned an important aspect, that is establishment of Panchayati Raj institution and the committee which recommended it known as Balwantri Rai Mehta. Balwantri Rai Mehta committee was there and they suggested of Panchayati Raj institution. The third 5-year plan we have mentioned a more progress in that. Fourth 5-year plan, yes everyone, fourth 5-year plan, a more important aspect is added, Garibi Hatao in that committees established. The fifth 5-year plan was basically there to check out how can we elevate the poverty. Yes everyone, we have discussed this thing in the previous lecture. Do you remember? Yes, do you remember that thing? And then gradually we mention other aspect. Then we mention about the committees. LM Singhvi committee we have mentioned. We have mentioned the C. Hanumanta Rao Committee. Then we have mentioned GVK Committee. Yes, everyone, is that clear? Yes, whatever we have discussed in the previous lecture, is that clear? Along with that, we discuss important question. Yes, we discussed one more important question in the previous lecture. Do you have any confusion, any query related to the last lecture? Yes, everyone, are you there? Yes, are you there? Yes, boys and girls. Very good evening to all of you once again. So I hope whatever we have discussed in the previous lecture is that clear to you. Do you have any question, query? Please ask me. I'm here to give you the answer. Yes, is that clear? Good. Now today we are going to discuss two important questions related to the planning. As we are going to discuss the aspects of planning. Yes, Rudra, very good evening. We are going to discuss the aspect of planning, and today we are going to discuss the two important questions related to the planning. And yes, these questions are from mains point of view. Factual question we are not going to discuss in this session. So the first question is for you. Planning process in India brought about the erosion of federal structure. Discuss. Oh, I think we have discussed this question in the last lecture only. Okay, sorry. Extremely sorry. Some slight change were there. Yes, this question we have discussed in the previous lecture only. Yes, in the previous lecture we have discussed. So this is not the question. Sorry for that. One mistake was from my side. Okay. The question is very simple. Planning process and structural changes in economy. Discuss. Yes, this question is already discussed in previous lecture. Sorry for the mistake. The question is that planning process and structural changes in economy, or we can add like Indian planning process and structural changes in economy. Discuss. Do you agree with this? Yes, boys and girls. Do you agree with this? क्या आपको लगता है कि भारत में जो योजना आयोग बनाया था या योजना से जो हमारे देश हुआ उसमें बहुत सारे बदलाव हुए structural changes in the economy? Yes, everyone. Discuss. What do you think? Yes, Ankita, very good evening once again. Yes, Ankita agree. Rudra agree. What about others? Do you agree? Let's check. If you are not agree, then first of all, I have to write this question properly and then we are going to discuss here only. So the question for today's lecture is Indian planning process brought structural changes in economy. Now the question is good. Discuss. Do you agree? Yes, you agree. How it is so? Let's take example of before planning, before 1951-52. India. What was the case? Colonial, past, agriculture, most important sector, no basic and heavy industry, clear, not self-sufficient at all. After 1951-52, what were the changes? Agriculture gave emphasized, irrigation project gets emphasized, then focus on basic and heavy industries. That means industrialization begin. Along with that, employment increases, poverty alleviation. Yes, everyone. Yes, Ankita. What Ankita? Yes, शाबाश. क्या आप बात कर रहे हो? अंकिता और रुद्रा आप आगे बढ़ गए. Good. So what Ankita said. So first, in the part one, we have to mention the background of planning commission. That what is need of such planning commission and Indian scenario at that time. Okay. Intro background before independence. First, I just want to show you what kind of changes, structural changes in economy brought. Yes, the various changes brought. So we agree with the statement. Now, how you're going to deal with that? How you're going to deal with that? And remember one thing, this question is not related to planning commission only. This question is related to the planning. So some of you might get confused, sir, why you are discussing this question as we do not have planning commission, but we have process of planning. What is Niti Aayog is doing? Niti Aayog is basically a planning commission in new form. Clear? So part first, what should be the part first? Part first, introduction, and in the introduction you have to mention background of Indian economy before. Yes, background of Indian economy before planning commission. Very good. I'm really happy and I'm really proud of you that you are thinking on the right direction. What should be the next phase? Next, you have to yes, first आप बताइए. First you are going to finish, then I'm going to tell you what should be the part two. And I'm really what can I say? I'm really confident that almost all of you are going to miss that part. Yes, Rudra, new reforms after independence. Hmm. बताइए, what should be next part? Yes, Ram Kumar, good evening. Please tell me what should be the next part. Don't you think so? The part next should be the connecting part between the changes started by planning commission. If the connecting part is not there, then it will be like it cannot be considered as a proper answer. Flow you are not going to maintain in that. Yes, PK, very good evening. You were not there in special class. Reforms after planning commission that was done. Yes, yes, set up the committee. Wait. Here you have to write the connecting part. What should be that connecting part? The connecting part is process of planning. Yes, remember everyone, please try to. Process of planning transform the Indian economy, colonial Indian economy to modern economy. Again, in this process, in this process, agriculture based economy to modern industries based economy. Can we write that? Yes, it's okay, PK. Rudra said 5-year plan. Can we mention this is the connecting part? Yes, you have to tell what kind of changes occurred. A transition period. You have to mention that you can connect this portion. Clear? Is that clear? Part 2 is clear to all of you. Part 1 introduction background means before planning commission colonial economy was there. Now you have to mention the connecting part, that is part 2. Now we are going to discuss the part 3. Do not do the mistake of writing everything in improper flow. As you all are having information, yes boys and girls, you all are having information, but still you need to require to write in an appropriate manner. Now what should be, yes, that exactly happened first 5-year plan. Now what should be part 3rd? Part 3rd, you have to mention what planning commission did. A smart part is there, means diversification of Indian economy. Diversification of Indian economy which brought about structural changes. How? How diversification of Indian economy brought about structural changes. How? Change in agriculture production pattern, change in industrial production pattern. Yes, everyone, emphasize on state government's role to play in development of the country, focus on socio-economic planning, and this socio-economic planning brings down the changes in the society, trickle down effect. Clear? Yes, everyone, is that clear? And now part 4, you are going to mention the examples. As in the 3rd part you agree, that is planning process brought the structural change in an economy. You agree with that, and now you have to mention the example, and here you are going to mention about 5-year plan. Do not go in detail. if you know the important 5-year plans and which bring the changes in the society and which can be considered as a structural change in the society or structural changes in the economy, please write those ones. Clear? Yes, is that clear to you? Yes, boys and girls, is that clear to you? Or still confusion, still doubt? PK, क्या आप लोगों को समझ में आया कि क्या लिखना चाहिए था और क्या लिख रहे हैं? Yes, everyone, I'm hoping that almost all of you get what exactly the demand of question and what you have to write. In the 5-year plan, of course, you have to mention about first, second, third, fourth, fifth. But other than that, 8th 5-year plan is also important, and other plans also there. So you have to mention those plans. And why 8th 5-year plan? Because 8th 5-year plan changed the pattern of economy. Is that clear to you? Good. So first question is clear to all of you. Good. Yes, everyone, before that, these are the batches we are going to start from today only. Yes, from 18th we are going to launch the batches for English, Hindi and bilingual according to your own convenience. Please, you can join it. The combo offer we are going to provide for 88,705 in that iconic GS subscription plus optional subscription we are going to provide you. And if you want to take the both GS and optional subscription for plus, it will cost around 70,103. These are my special classes and you all are aware of it. If you haven't, please go and refer the app. You will get to know about it. Yes, and the most important announcement for all of you, that is Unacademy Summit is there 2.0 on February 20 and 21st. Please be there because the 70 iconic speakers are going to have a conversation with you. Their experiences, their knowledge definitely going to help you in your preparation, and the fourth paper is most important in that context. Yes, everyone. So for that, please register before 20th Feb. Next question is for you. In the era of liberalization, planning has lost its relevance. Should it be abolished? Give your opinion. आप लोगों से पूछा है भाई साहब, हाँ मैडम, आप लोगों से पूछा है. Now they considered you are important. What's your opinion about it? In the era of liberalization, planning has lost relevance. Should it be abolished? Give your opinion. क्या क्या लगता है आपको? बताइए आप लोग. PK said it shouldn't be abolished. Okay. Means PK, can we say yes, it should not be abolished? What about others? Ankita said she disagree with the statement that planning should be there. Without planning, it's not possible. Okay. Yes, PK. Planning helps to build the structure. Planning helps you in your civil services preparation. If you do not have plan, then it's really difficult for you to complete your syllabus. It's very difficult for you to complete your task. Means like what? If you're reading any history book, you're reading that history book for 2 months, 3 months, and so on. Why it is so? So plan. If you are having planning, maybe you are not going to finish that book in 8 days, but you are going to finish that book in 10 days. So planning is important. It's very simple, boys and girls. In the era of do means give your opinion, it doesn't means you. It doesn't means you. This is not you. They didn't ask your opinion. They asked the various angles, and after that, they are going to give your analysis. Opinion is always by expert. Can you consider yourself as expert? Clear? Now you get it. Okay. Yes. Rudra said intro, acceptance of liberalization. It is also a planning part. First of all, in the era of liberalization, planning has lost relevance. Should it be abolished? Give your opinion. First of all, in the era of liberalization, planning has lost relevance. Do you agree? And most of you disagree with the statement. Most of you disagree with the statement. Should it abolished? Of course not. When you are disagree, of course not. Then how you are going to deal with that? How you are going to deal with that? Don't you think so? The first part is basically why such question mark was there over the process of planning? Yes, don't you think so? Part 1, you have to discuss why there is such question mark. Yes, everyone. Do you agree with that? What should be the part first? Why this view? आपको नहीं लगता कि पहला पार्ट जो होगा पहला पॉइंट होगा कि आपको ये बताना चाहिए कि ये ऐसा क्यों कहा गया है? As you mentioned, planning is the best process, planning is very helpful and all. Then why very few or some of them are raising question mark over it? You have to mention that. Without mentioning, your agreement or disagreement is meaningless. Clear? Why this view is there? Why there is a question mark over the process of planning? Yes, everyone. सवाल तो लाजमी है ना? Yes, Rudra, good. Because something is fishy. Something is not going to work according to the expectation. Yes, as we have discussed the planning is going to bring about the socio-economic changes in India. Do you think so? They fulfill in that aspect? Yes, everyone. Do you think so? They fulfill in that aspect? As we mentioned about the trickle down effect, whether the trickle down effect serve the purpose when we were discussing in terms of economic growth rate, whether the planning process in the beginning phase fulfill that aspect. Because of its limitation and also interstate finance distribution issues due to some. Yes, exactly, Ankita. Yes, Rudra, exactly. That means in this part you have to mention the limitations of planning. Shabash. I'm really happy. No, no, genuinely, I'm really happy that you know what exactly the first part should be. You have to mention the limitation. Good. Then, yes, exactly. Yes, it is not reached to the last man or women of the society. Part first is clear, means you have mentioned the limitation of planning. Now, what should be the part second? What should be the part second? Think about it. First, you have mentioned the limitation of planning commission. Now, why this question mark or why this statement is there? Yes, Rudra said need to change in the reforms. Planning? What points planning should consider? I didn't get PK. What you want to ask? Don't you think so? You have to mention the positive outcomes. Don't you think so? You have to mention the positive outcomes after introduction of liberalization. Need changes in reforms. What points planning should consider or acceptance of new policy. क्योंकि ये देखो ना कि सवाल जो पूछा है, the question is very simple. In the era of liberalization, planning has lost relevance. Should it abolished? Give your opinion. So first you have mentioned the limitations of planning, and because of this limitation, such question marks are there. But there is a other side of coin is also there. Am I right or wrong, boys and girls? कि ये जो सवाल है ये क्यों पूछा गया है, क्योंकि कुछ ना कुछ अच्छा भी हुआ है ना। जब अच्छा हुआ है तभी तो आपने बुरा क्या हुआ था इसके ऊपर सवाल पूछा है। No, 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 Rudra. It is not the case at all. You do not have to give example of any other countries. First, focus on the liberalization. What liberalization? That is new economic reforms. How can you forget that? Hmm. Yes, boys and girls. How can you forget that? New economic reforms. The new economic reforms bring lots of changes in India. Think about you as we are interacting with each other. Why it is so? It is because of the same thing. There are many changes happened. LPG, liberalization, privatization, globalization. As you open your market, Just remember the GDP. The GDP once upon time it was restricted to 3 to 4% growth annually. It reached up to 9 and 10% annually. Clear? So you have to mention that how these forces of liberalization, forces of marketization change the structure in the economy. Clear? And how it brings the positive changes in Indian economy as well as Indian society. Part 2 is clear to you? Yes, boys and girls, part 2 is clear? Good. Now part 3rd. Now part 3rd, what you're going to mention? As you said you are disagree with the statement. Now you have to mention the limitations of market forces, liberalization. Yes, everyone, you have to mention because you said you disagree with that. When you disagree with that, that means there are some loopholes in marketization as well. What kind of loopholes are there? And most important thing is distribution of wealth. You know that in India right now the case is that poor are becoming poorer and rich are becoming richest. This distribution of resources or distribution of wealth is an important aspect. This is a limitation visible. Along with that, the earlier programs of poverty elevation was there, employment was there. Clear? So when it was introduced, we hope that we are going to provide you employment opportunities and all. Whether it is going to fulfill, yes, whether we are going to provide the employment opportunities for all, of course not. One more important aspect is that too much privatization. Too much privatization. This is the limitation of it because earlier when there was a government acquiring things at that time, standard rules and regulation for job, employment and everything was much more better. But these are the limitations of liberalization. Yes, everyone. Do you agree with it? And there are specific problems of Indian economy and society can't be resolved through privatization, through liberalization. Like what? Yes, everyone. Like what? बताइए. Like what? As we have mentioned, in India, planning process is for socio-economic development. And you know, in liberalization, they focused on profit-making things. Yes, Ankita, exactly. Agriculture sector. Do you really think so? Private sector are going to take care of it? Do you really think so? Private sector are going to take care of unemployed people? Do you think so? Private sector are going to think about poor, welfare programs? Yes, everyone. Do you think so? They are going to think about the welfare programs because the welfare policy adopted by welfare state irrespective of profit and loss. Yes, health sector is another important aspect of it. So these are a specific problem. Rural urban division is there, and this rural urban division is visible in this context that in urban area everybody wants to establish hospital. In urban area everybody wants to start schools and everything, colleges, banks. What about rural area? What about rural area? They are not interested in opening banks in rural area, private banks basically. Yes, schools, hospitals, nothing. So this is an important aspect and that's why we have to mention this limitation. जो भी आप चकाचौंध जिंदगी देख रहे हो, इस चकाचौंध जिंदगी के बाद भी कुछ है. India and Bharat, these two terms are there. We in our constitution we used to mention India, that is Bharat, but still there is a huge difference, and we have to mention in this aspect that is limitation of liberalization. Along with there are some specific problem in Indian economy and which cannot be sorted out by liberalization. Yes, jobless growth. Yes, Prakash, exactly. Jobless growth is one of the aspect of it. Next, then what is the solution? Yes, what is the solution? As you said, abolition of planning process is not solution. As you said, there are limitations of liberalization as well. Then what should be the solution for it? And if you're not going to provide the solution in this question, then your question is incomplete. Yes, Prakash, but it is we cannot consider it as a part of it because yes, remember one thing: competition is there. If you're going to provide you the best product, and if it is of the same rate, and people are definitely going to purchase that product. Which one is better? We cannot say that their products are better and are not that much, and said that's why people are purchasing that. It is not a logical response. Yes. Nope. Part 4 is not a conclusion. Part 4, you have to provide some solution. Yes, yes, Rudra. Need to correlate the planning and liberalization with each other. Basically, the part 4, you have to mention or you have to redefine. You have to redefine what the role of planning process in India. Yes, PK, exactly. Now you are getting, I'm really happy. You all are on the right track. Our country is more agriculture dependent, so we have to focus more on them so that more labor, more village employment through schemes such as Manrega and develop. Yes, yes, Ankita, exactly. Now, what is required? What should be the part 4? Part 4 is simple. Part 4, that means you have to redefine the planning approach. What is the redefining of the planning approach? First, you have to know what was the earlier one. Earlier one was a centralized. Full centralization was there. Now we have to redefine it. How? centralized earlier, as these are the earlier aspects. Earlier process of planning was centralized planning, top to bottom approach. Yes, means planning from above was there, along with along with means a more dominance of central government was there. Center was not acted as a facilitator. Center acted as a regulator. They are going to impose so many rules and regulations. Yes, so we have to redefine how center should act as a facilitator. Center should act as a coordinator. Yes, along with that means that these all are aspects of planning. What should be the planning? It should focus on both public and private sector. Yes, there are many messages focusing on agriculture sector. Yes, exactly, Prakash. Good. Decentralization, multidimensional development. Yes, exactly. Shabash Rudra. Decentralized. Very good, Ankita. Equal distribution between the all sector. Yes, these all aspects are going to redefine decentralization where it is required. Yes, decentralization where is required. It is not the case that we are going to decentralize everything. Focus on agriculture development. Providing subsidy is not just an option. You have to provide the other aspects. So you have to focus on primary sector. Clear? So you have to redefine the process of planning, multidimensional planning, and the one very important concept when we begin the Niti Aayog at that time, though it is on paper only, but when we have presented this idea of Niti Aayog, we talked about one important term, cooperative federalism. Yes, do you remember this word? Our current Prime Minister used then this word while launching the Niti Aayog, that Niti Aayog should act as a cooperative federalism body. Means there should not be any competition between state and center. Center should act as a facilitator, coordinator. Clear? So you have to mention all these points in the part 4. So part 4 is basically you are providing options, solution. Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? Yes, PK, Ankita, Prakash, Rudra, is that clear to you? Good. So if we want to sum up this thing, क्योंकि हमने बहुत सारी चीजें यहाँ पे डिस्कस की है और अलग अलग जगह पे की है, so I just want to tell you one thing. What should be the summary part? Part 1 is basically you are going to write limitation of planning process in India. This should be a part first. Part second, you have to mention positives or achievements of liberalization. Part 3, we are going to mention limitations of liberalization, and yes, of course, part 4. Part 4 is redefining planning process. That's your answer. It's really simple. Yes, boys and girls, it's really simple. To increase the competitiveness of Indian economy, infusion of foreign capital and technology must be done. Yes, yes, of course. That's why we mention we have to balance both private and public sector. It should not be blindly followed. The government is going to sell, disinvest the public sector unit. Yes, we have to make balance between these two. Okay. Okay. So I hope whatever the things we have discussed, it is clear to you. You do not have any question. Yes, boys and girls. Yes, this is an important announcement for you. 28th February at 11 a.m. there is Unacademy Combat. Please be there. Format is simple. 45 questions. Oh, sorry, 45 minutes, 60 questions. Please join it because here you are going to test yourself and the prizes are also there. Yes, so that's all for today's session. Thank you very much for your valuable time. As those who want to know the lecture timing and all, please follow me on Unacademy app, Telegram channel at Unacademy underscore Harshv10. Please follow me on Unacademy app so that you will get the notification of special classes. And last but not least, if you really like the way of teaching, please like, share, subscribe, and please dedicate the hats which is available with you. Please subscribe to Unacademy. Your subscription is important for us. And whenever you're going to subscribe, use my code HARSHV10. You will get a 10% discount and you are going to count as my student. One important information for you. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. we are having Modern India lecture. And one more thing, that is in the morning, we suddenly, because of the network failure, because of thunderstorm, everything is ended abruptly. Don't worry, we are going to finish that topic in special session. Yes, so tomorrow at 8 a.m. we are having Modern India lecture. Please be there. Good night. Take care. Stay safe. Stay happy.